Hi everyone, Donut here. I've got a few stories I just wanted to talk about with you guys today involving the NYPD and slimy little defense attorneys. It has been a busy weekend for the NYPD. A lot of stuff has been going down there. Lots of hate on Twitter towards the NYPD. Lots of blue man bad when the facts haven't even been released, or the facts have been released and people just suck. First up, I want to talk about my channel for a second. You guys have probably seen that I've been doing a lot more ads on here. If you're not into that type of thing, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to move to Texas this summer, and it's a necessary thing for me to do in order to have the money to do that. If you're not into that, just skip past it. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Thanks for being here. Continuing on to what we were going to talk about involving the NYPD and people who are just mean people. First story we're going to talk about, you guys tagged me in. Actually, you guys tagged me in all my stories. Thank you so much for helping me out with that, because a lot of this stuff I wouldn't find if it wasn't for you guys. One of you tagged me in this from Noah Goldberg. It says he's a justice reporter formerly in my daily news. He said, breaking, a cop shot and killed a man selling t-shirts outside an East New York nail salon after workers at the salon called cops to remove him. Of course, that reads a guy was selling t-shirts. Police rolled up and shot his ass, because that's what police do. It was followed up by some very colorful comments such as, I'll never understand this. How are there so many trigger-happy, incompetent cops? I appreciate and respect the good very few cops, but this is out of control. This is not okay. It worked exactly as Noah Goldberg had planned. People are already pooping on the popo. And without evidence of anything happening. According to reports, what had happened was a guy came into a nail salon, asked to use the restroom. They said, no, it's not a public restroom, so he pissed on the floor. The people at the nail salon go outside, they see some cops passing by, they're like, hey, this dude's pissing on our floor. Officers go inside and talk to the guy. It turns out he has some outstanding warrants. I don't know what they were for, but they go to place him under arrest. That's when 33-year-old Kwesi Ashen, I'm butchering that, I know, probably, runs inside and starts fighting with the cops. He wasn't even a part of it. Turns out he's got schizophrenia and he's bipolar and has a bunch of mental problems. Back in 2004, he was arrested for injuring one police officer and stabbing another one in the side of the head. They're all scuffling around inside of this business. The guy that has some mental disorders, Kwesi Ashen, he picks up a chair, hits a cop so hard in the head with it that he has to go to the hospital and be put in a medically induced coma. The officer, by the way, a 21-year veteran of the NYPD, was released today after being in critical condition all weekend. NYPD News put this video out earlier today of Officer LaFontant being released from the hospital. If you're watching this, man, I'm glad you're out of the hospital. I had your back this whole weekend. Hopefully your road to recovery is as quick and as painless as possible. The guy hits him in the head with a chair, messes him up real bad. He pulls out his gun, fires 6 shots, killing the dude. You hit a cop in the head with a metal chair, what do you expect to happen? Case closed, right? No, in these situations you know it's never that easy. In comes defense attorney number 1 that we're going to talk about in this video. Rebecca Kavana picks up the story and tweets out, an NYPD officer shot and killed Kwesi Ashen, an unarmed black man in Brownsville, Brooklyn this afternoon. He is the 4th person the NYPD have shot dead in the last 10 days. Overheard on duty jumps in and says, unarmed, you put a cop in a coma with a metal chair. I wish police could sue people like you for defamation as well as charged with inciting violence with your lies. She comes back and says, so take issue with me describing someone as unarmed because they didn't have a gun, but you are absolutely going to have to check yourself to suggest I am somehow inciting violence. This tweet by you is incredibly irresponsible. Yes, Rebecca is actually saying other people's tweets are irresponsible. I'm not going to dig through too many tweets, but here's one last one I'm going to show you from Rebecca. Pat tweeted out, a chair can be a deadly weapon, as you can see, because this officer may very well die. You shoot people who have deadly weapons. Why are you defending this person? Rebecca comes back and says, I'm not going to continue to argue with you, but no, you do not shoot and kill people even if they have guns, which this person did not have. Police need to be trained to deal with situations other than shooting people dead. Peace out. I'm just as confused as you are by this tweet. You do not shoot and kill people even if they have guns. The peace out at the end was definitely the cherry on top. You know, a mic drop, like she just said something smart. In comes defense attorney 2. The guy that we're going to talk about next is always retweeting Rebecca, and they go back and forth and, you know, retweet each other's nonsense. This tweet was originally posted by someone else, but this is where I found it. Defense attorney Scott Hetchinger tweets this out and says, 2 minutes, 20 seconds of terror. Dozens of transit police officers, guns drawn, people fleeing, all to arrest a young man sitting down, his hands in the air, doing nothing. This is a militarized police out of control, and they hired 500 more for the subway. Let's go ahead and watch the video.
This is bomb piece of shit. What me do? I'm going to yard, man. Oh, what me do? I'm going to yard.
Let me watch you here.
Blood.
They love to talk about God.
In the video, you see a few police officers standing outside the subway train with their guns drawn. The people see what they're doing. They start to clear out of the way because they're pointing at one specific person. The doors open, they holster up, come in, and arrest a guy. Completely militarized, I know. I think any reasonable person would ask, well, what did he do for that kind of response? Which is what I did. Scott retweets me and says, my opinion, it shouldn't matter. He was sitting down, hands in the air, compliant. Nothing justified this level of force. Pick your crime. It's unnecessary no matter what. There's a lot of people in here talking about brutality. I just don't... Look at that. I fail to see where the brutality part is. No one got shot. No one even got roughed up. They didn't even slam him on the ground. They put him down, put him in handcuffs, and walked off the subway train with him. Sorry, I'm going too far. Let's go back to this tweet. It shouldn't matter. This kind of response shouldn't matter. Hypothetically speaking, if the guy had just murdered someone, or he was wanted on a murder warrant, he was wanted on a rape warrant. He was wanted on touching kids warrant. They recognized him from armed robbery earlier that week. None of it matters. He shouldn't have been approached like that. Another thing about this whole they have their hands up, they're harmless. That's a fallacy. It's complete bullshit. Appendix carry. Hip carry. Shoved down the back of my pants. I mean, what if I don't even want to come to full extension? Without fully extending. Cross draw. Did anyone get my point here? When your hands are up, it doesn't completely mean you're harmless. So why was he approached like that? The NYPD released a statement to, and this is funny, clarify the incident and identified the man as Adrian Napier, 19, of Brooklyn. Witnesses told police officers they'd seen him with a gun near Atlantic and Flatbush. When officers approached him, he fled into the subway, jumped a turnstile, and got on the train. When the train he was on got to the next stop, there were a lot of officers waiting there. Some of them pulled their guns out because they had been told, hey, a guy with a gun just fled from us. Appropriate response to protect the people on the train, I think. Or maybe I'm just a biased bootlicker, trying to cop-splain everything away. I don't know if you guys noticed it, forgot to mention, the video's been viewed 3.3 million times. I'm not going to go through all the hateful comments like I normally do on these videos. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm done talking about these incidents. If anyone wants to come hang out with me, you can come to twitch.tv/DonaldOperator. I look forward to seeing you all there. Everyone, please have a fantastic day. Straight whacker.